Running from the man, smacked his head, nigga, fuck it. Shrimp legs, lobster tails, crabs in the buck fries. Hot baby oil make your skin boil beat. I remember putting tissue on that toilet seat.
Peace, family. This video right here is about how the Civil War was and has become a wasted time, and was and still is, and has become a Trojan horse for feminism. This your boy Young Pharaoh, aka Lil Fee the Holy Ghost, and this is seriously. Let's jump right there. We know why the civil rights movement started. For the most part, I would like to think most of us know that. If not, I got some documentaries and shit coming up. That's going to inform you. I'm not about to go all the way back there. Let's just talk about it. We had a bunch of Caucasian women who were afraid of black men. Didn't want black people living in their neighborhoods. We had a bunch of black people who were being discriminated against by Caucasian women and Caucasian men. Didn't want to let us have jobs and have human rights, right? In a country that they are not even genetically origin from, because they're genetically engineered. No disrespect, that's science. Okay, so what happened? A whole bunch of people did a whole bunch of marching and a whole bunch of things that I'm not going to say were in vain, but they became in vain because now you can't pay a nigga to go to school to be a DA. A bitch don't even want a nigga that got a government job. Think I'm lying? Watch them 20 verse 1s. You a doctor? Bitch, pop your balloon. You a police? Bitch, pop your balloon. You military? Pop your balloon. You a surgeon? Pop your balloon. You a computer engineer? Pop your balloon. Bitches only want street niggas and niggas that don't have government jobs. Okay, so what the fuck did they have our ancestors out there marching for and going through all of that brutality if in the end you wasn't going to want this shit? I would have never marched and did none of that shit in the civil rights movement if I would have knew it was going to become what the fuck it was going to become today, where a nigga don't want to go to school, a nigga don't want to go to get a job, and a nigga don't want to hustle either. Nigga don't want to do shit. So the civil rights movement had ultimately became a wasted time. It became a bunch of shit that niggas asked for, got the rights to participate, and then no longer want to even participate. Partially, I do understand, though, because I don't like working with other races of people either, because they is racist as hell, but I don't like working with niggas either, because niggas also is unprofessional as hell. Only people I really enjoy working with the most is Asians. And y'all can call that what the fuck you want to call that. But yeah. And then what happened? Caucasian women decided that not only were black men scary, all women were scary. And then they came and recruited black women on that feminism shit, and they left everybody out to dry. So this Caucasian woman convinced the country that black people were scary. And then once enough white people got behind that, then they switched on them too. She switched on the Caucasian man too, and left the American man totally behind for the foreigner man. Now, why is this important? Equality. Women already had equality. Still do. Women don't not have equality. What it is they wanted to be able to exercise power outside of their gender role that doesn't naturally belong to them. They wanted to be nosy and to spy. See, women already had it made. Right now, what's a bitch dream? For you to buy her some land in the country or build a house in the country and take her out the city and live like that, right? Well, guess what? Everybody was already living like that. All these stupid ass bitches convinced these niggas to give up their motherfucking land and property to move into the inner city so they could live that metropolitan downtown liberal Caucasian white woman life. Now that's all you see is these hoes and penthouses and all that. Cool. But then they want you to take your retirement money or take your hustle money and put them back where they left 30, 40 years ago. That's not even fair. Ask you for something that now they won't even raise their sons to engage. These bitches ask niggas to go out here and march for motherfucking civil rights. Niggas went out here and did that. And now you can't pay one of these bitches to get their son to go to law school. Ridiculous. Bitch had acres of land. You was a housewife. You gave that shit up to go work. Now all a bitch wants you to do is retire them. Then we had to worry about the racist white man, allegedly. Now it's all men because all niggas ain't shit and feminism targeted everybody. You see how this shit work? That's how capitalism becomes socialism and socialism become communism. The same way that the civil rights movement became the feminist rights movement. Listening to people with these false ass reports and with these false ass problems who don't really got problems, but they just stirring up political turmoil for financial gain and benefit. Did the bitch that lied on Emmett Till really have a problem? No. She did that shit just because. You would be surprised how much shit hoes do just because. I'm pretty sure it's wars going on overseas that we don't know about that started over because somebody did something just because. So this ain't no disrespect to my ancestors. Obviously, I'm black and I did a whole documentary on Malcolm X, obviously. But I'm keeping it real. I know Malcolm X is turning in the ether somewhere. Martin Luther King turning in the ether somewhere. Johnny Cochran turning in the ether somewhere. Fred Hampton turning in the ether somewhere. Because y'all wasted their fucking lifetime out and y'all wasted their time. Had them people go out there and ask for shit that y'all won't even utilize today and you have the opportunity. That's ridiculous as fuck. On top of the fact, it don't even matter no more because the feminists then took that shit over. Women and kids then took that shit over. What you think LGBTQ is? An extension of NAMBLA, the National Association of Man-Boy Love in America? Then they switched that to LGBTQ. And I say this. I'm not a what you call a traitor or like a Uncle Ruckus, but I keep it real. The Ku Klux Klan has been here way longer than the LGBTQ. How the fuck is the LGBTQ a historical historical organization? They only 20 years old. The Klan been here since the Holy Wars. The Klan got ties all the way back to the Holy Wars. So that's not a historical organization. But some shit that came from National Association of Man Boy Love is historical. Why? Because the majority of the country is feminist. After Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was gone, guess what popped right out? Section 8 and food stamps. A bitch would choose a teenager or a little boy over your grown ass. Don't believe me, nigga? Go look outside. They do it every day. Why you think veterans and shit is homeless and retired law enforcement is homeless when they retire? Because it's trained up as you is, and as good as a man as you may be, a bitch don't want you. A bitch want a little ass boy or a teenager. That's a fact. Yeah. You fighting for this bitch that had a right to not even pick your ass. That's what you fighting for. She do got rights, and she got the right to not pick your ass. And you out there losing arms and legs for a bitch that's not even thinking about you. Fuck that. I ain't doing it. And with that being said, the civil rights movement has become a waste of time. Martin Luther King did walk his people into a burning house. And niggas ain't have enough sense to run out the motherfucker. And then the house flipped on your ass and turned to a feminist house and you ain't see it the whole time. So niggas got double crossed. Even white America got double crossed. Even the most racist of the racist Southern or Northern white Caucasian man didn't see the feminists coming. Feminism whooped everybody ass. Family court whooped everybody ass. And it's not even supposed to be here. That's why President Nixon got convicted of treason. And I'm going to end this here before I say too much because I'm going way into detail on my documentary that I got called Feminism in the Modern Day Woman. But I say to say this. The civil rights movement has become a waste because nobody utilized the resources that you fought to get. So it made it a waste. That's like coming to my house right now and arguing me up and down about you want a water. Then I go in there and get you a water. You don't even drink the shit. You leave it there. Come on now. Y'all did all of that walking and all of that marching to not go get a nigga. Like I said, y'all don't want a goddamn government job. Cool. Well, what the fuck did y'all go out there and argue for and march for? If you wasn't going to want the goddamn job, it was a waste of time. And this Caucasian motherfucker knew he wasn't going to give it to you anyway. But what he didn't see coming was that white woman was going to X his ass out too with that feminist shit. That's a fact. The civil rights movement was destroyed and intercepted by feminism. And along with all other movements. And what did them women do? Them feminists do? Let me say women. Feminists do? When they took all the kids and used them as shields. This society became overly about women and kids. I'm not saying don't respect and don't protect women and kids, but it became overly about women and kids. If I'm walking up the street right now, listening to my music outside, it's a bitch somewhere that is say it's a kid. You tell me, I don't give a fuck, bitch. We outside. You don't want to hear this shit? Oh well, motherfucker. We outside. I listen to rock and roll, rap, Madison, I listen to all kinds of shit. But imagine that. The whole world is about women and kids right now. You can't even bop and turn up because it's kids around and women around. You got to be overly hypersensitive about a bitch you don't know with some kids that don't belong to you because they done took over every fabric of space where the fuck they don't belong. All in adult spaces, grown man spaces, and don't belong, but you got to cater to them and they don't belong because they done bullied their way even outside of where they do belong. So that's what that was about. Wasn't no women didn't have no equality. Women didn't have rights. All these hoes were stay-at-home goddamn wives and shit. Didn't even have to work. The way that they trying to make it back right now is how the fuck it was. Everybody keeps saying, you need to go back how it was back in the day. I don't want to work. I bet the fuck you don't, bitch. But you asked to work, so go work. You asked for that. But I'm telling y'all right now, hell no. This shit ain't supposed to be this way. These hoes betrayed everybody. So that way they could live off Section 8 and food stamps from another country, based upon feminism, which is an ideology created by extraterrestrials, specifically the spider and the octopus. That's a part of what World War II was about. People experimenting with them spiders and them octopuses, and they realized that the females of that species oppressed the men by doing two things: robbing him of his resources through the false portrayal of love and intimacy. How many hoes we know do that? And also, controlling the man's strength by controlling his calorie intake, controlling his food. Why do you think 80% of women in America is obese? Because they would rather sacrifice a part of their beauty to be able to physically combat you. You know how hard it is to take a 300-pound bitch down? That shit ain't easy. That's why all these hoes running around here got their weight up. So that way they could be defiant and combat you. Imagine that. A bitch is so defiant that she would sacrifice her power as a woman, which is her beauty, in order to be big enough to slam, wrestle, and grapple with a man, because that's how much she's already prepared not to listen to you and respect you just as a man. Facts. All this shit is interconnected. Like I said, I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to break it all. That's why human trafficking is up so high, too. Hoes in there running their mouth in family court don't even know that shit is not even operated by America. Somebody from another country know your schedule, know your kid's schedule, know your height, your description, your eye color. And when they want the motherfucker that matches your description, they just come pick you like a damn flower. Because you done went in there and ran your mouth and told everything the fuck you could tell from the time your kid go to school to go home. In front of a whole motherfucker that you don't even know ain't even from here. And so with that being said, y'all, this is going to be more detailed and longer, obviously, in my documentary, but I just wanted to put this out right now so y'all could, have an update on what the fuck happened to the civil rights movement. And people say, well, what happened? Like, where black people going? You going the same place you've been going if you're not paying attention? Nowhere. And so with that being said, y'all, this is your boy, Young Pharaoh, a.k.a. Lil Fee, the Holy Ghost. And this is serious, seriously. Froze.
Feed my father if he's starving and his ghost hungry. Hope my father know I love him if his ghost hug me. Niggas really getting down where I'm from. Bitches in it for the clout where I'm from. Gang, you can't say the name where I'm from. Cause the FBI didn't game where I'm from. Where I'm from, remember running from the feds. Cock the mag on them, fuck it. Shrimp legs, lobster tails, crabs and